Hinex's station hummed with the nervous energy of a dozen species preparing for what many considered a suicide mission. Ambassador Zethkar of the Veltari Confederation watched through the observation deck as teams suited up in their respective radiation gear. Bulky, atmospheric suits that made everyone look like walking refrigerators. Everyone except the humans. "Are you certain your equipment is adequate?" Zethkar's translator crackled as he addressed Commander Sarah Chen, who was adjusting what appeared to be nothing more than a thin, silvery jumpsuit. Sarah grinned, her teeth unnaturally white against her already bronze complexion. "This old thing? It's our Mark 7 environmental suit, rated for pretty much anything short of a solar flare." The Kenthari engineer Vrix clicked his mandibles nervously. "The radiation levels on Kepler 442c are 30 times what would be lethal to most organic life. Our suits are rated for 15 times that threshold with triple redundancy systems. Humans are weird about radiation," Sarah's teammate Dr. Marcus Webb chimed in as he sealed his own suit. Unlike Sarah's form-fitting gear, his was slightly bulkier, a medical variant. "We actually seek it out sometimes. For fun." The assembled alien representatives exchanged concerned glances. The Zephyrian's translator symbiont pulsed an alarmed orange. "Seek it out? For recreational purposes?" "Oh yeah," Marcus nodded enthusiastically. "Sunbathing mostly. Some of us pay good money to lie under radiation sources for hours. Makes us change color." Zethkar's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of deep confusion among his species. The briefing had been clear. Kepler 442c's surface was bathed in levels of gamma radiation that would cook most known life forms within minutes. The planet's unique mineral deposits were essential for the new faster-than-light drive technology, but retrieving them seemed impossible. That was before the humans volunteered. The mission itself was straightforward. Land, collect samples from the crystalline formations near the equator, and return within 6 hours. The various species had spent months developing specialized equipment for the task. The Veltari had created atmospheric suits that could withstand a nuclear blast. The Kenthari had designed their gear with bioregenerative healing fields. The Zephyrians had installed reality distortion fields to literally bend space around the radiation. The humans had brought what looked like metallic pajamas. "Beginning descent," announced Captain Torres from the shuttle's pilot seat. She wasn't wearing any protective gear at all, just her standard fleet uniform. "ETA to surface, 12 minutes. As they broke through the planet's atmosphere, the radiation detectors began screaming. Every species instinctively checked their suits' integrity displays. Green lights across the board. Their protection was holding. Sarah was looking out the viewport with the casual interest of someone observing a sunset. "Radiation levels are climbing exponentially," Vrix reported, his voice tight with anxiety. "We're now at 47 times the lethal threshold for unprotected Kenthari exposure." "Lovely weather," Sarah commented. "Reminds me of that vacation I took to Australia. The outback in summer. Now that was some serious solar radiation." The shuttle touched down with a gentle thud on the crystalline surface. Through the viewports, they could see the magnificent formations they'd come to harvest. Towering spires of what appeared to be living crystal, pulsing with an internal light that seemed to respond to the planet's radiation bath. "Remember," Zethkar addressed the team, "no unnecessary risks. Collect the samples and return immediately." The airlock cycled and they stepped onto the planet's surface. Within minutes, it became clear that something was very wrong with the humans, while the other species moved carefully, constantly monitoring their equipment and maintaining minimum safe distances from the most radioactive formations. Sarah and Marcus were practically skipping across the landscape. "Oh, this is nice," Sarah called out over the comm, stretching her arms wide. "Feel that energy? It's like standing next to a campfire." Marcus was actually humming as he collected samples. "The resonance frequency is incredible. My equipment is picking up harmonic patterns in the crystal structure that are directly correlating with the radiation pulse cycles." "Is it safe for them to be so enthusiastic?" asked the Zephyrian representative Whisper of Solar Winds. Zethkar checked his readings again. The humans' biomonitors showed elevated heart rates and increased neural activity, but nothing that suggested distress. If anything, they seemed to be thriving. 2 hours into the mission, the impossible happened. Marcus had removed his helmet. "Marcus!" Sarah's voice crackled over the comm. "What are you doing?" "The atmospheric readings are stable. he called back, his voice clear and unfiltered. "The radiation here isn't ionizing in the way our models predicted. It's actually stimulating cellular regeneration." Every alien on the team froze in horror. "Dr. Webb," Zethkar's voice was carefully controlled, "please replace your protective gear immediately. You're being exposed to lethal levels of—" "I feel fantastic," Marcus interrupted, and his bio readings confirmed it. Every metric was not just normal, but optimal. "Sarah, you have to try this." And to the absolute horror of their alien companions, she did. Sarah's helmet retracted with a soft hiss, and she took a deep breath of the radioactive atmosphere. For a moment, there was absolute silence over the comm channels. Then Sarah laughed, a sound of pure joy that echoed across the crystal formations. "It's like breathing pure energy," she said. "I can feel it in my cells, optimizing, repairing, enhancing. No wonder the crystals grow so beautifully here." By the time they returned to the shuttle, both humans had discarded most of their protective gear. Their exposed skin had taken on a golden bronze tone that seemed to glow with its own inner light. Sarah's hair had developed subtle highlights that shifted color in the planet's unusual light spectrum. "How is this possible?" Vrix demanded as they secured the crystal samples. "Our calculations were precise. The radiation should have killed you both within minutes." Marcus grinned as he sealed the sample containers. "Well, you see, humans evolved on a planet with a pretty active radiation environment. Our sun throws out solar flares, we have natural uranium deposits, cosmic rays. We've been dealing with radiation for millions of years. But this was exponentially beyond—" "Here's the thing about humans," Sarah interrupted, settling into her seat with the relaxed contentment of someone who'd just had the perfect vacation day. "We don't just adapt to our environment. We tend to find the bright side of pretty much everything." She gestured to the crystal formations visible through the viewport. "You all saw deadly radiation that would cook your cells. We saw free vitamin D and a chance to work on our tans." As the shuttle lifted off from Kepler 442c, Zethkar made a note in his diplomatic log. "Recommendation for future missions involving hazardous environments. Always bring humans." They appear to consider deadly a challenge rather than a warning. Behind him, Sarah was already planning her next vacation. "Marcus, do you think they'd let us come back next weekend? I could really get used to this kind of spa treatment." The universe, Zethkar reflected, was a strange and wonderful place, but humans might just be the strangest and most wonderful thing in it.